Today's Spotlight is brought to you in part by presenting sponsor, First Community Financial Bank, the community bank where you come first. You're watching Spotlight, and today I'm joined by Jane Haldeman and Laura Kovarik from the Fox Valley Genealogical Society. So welcome to Spotlight.
Thank you.
We're excited to have you here and learn a little bit about the history of the organization. So I'm going to start with you, Jane. Tell us what the society is all about and what its purpose is.
Well, it was formed, actually it had its first meeting September 9th of 1981. So it's been around in Naperville for 35 years now.
Wow.
And it was formed because people wanted to find out about their family and learn a little bit more about that. The reason it became Fox Valley Genealogical Society is there was already a DuPage Society, and they didn't want it just a Naperville one. They wanted to show that it was encompassing the whole area. So Fox Valley Mall was just brand new, and so it became Fox Valley Genealogical Society, so that we can learn a little bit about our family, help others about our, learn about their family, and that sort of, research.
That's interesting, and it's interesting that there's a DuPage one, and then Fox Valley. I like that. I like the fact that you started. The mall was there, and so you got your name there. That's
Yes.
very interesting. Laura, focus. What does the society have a particular area of focus?
We do. We cover a lot of things, but we sort of specialize in two things. We are very strong with our writing groups because you can do all this research on your family, but if you don't write it down for others to read, who's going to see it? And then we also do a great deal of cemetery indexing. So we go out and read the tombstones and record information and take photographs so that if you live far away and you think you might have someone around here, you have resources to use.
So now, does the society do that for any? So you go out to the cemeteries and do that anyway. So anybody could reach out to you and get that information.
Right, and we have different sources. We actually have some books that we have put together. We also have some material on our website. We have an index so you can see if anybody from your family might be in a cemetery we've done, and then contact us for additional information.
That's really interesting, and I find it fascinating you talk about the write it down, because I do think there's that natural instinct in us to want to find things out, but now we found it out, we kind of move on, right?
Yeah.
So tell us a little bit about the writing. How does that work?
Well, we have three groups. One of them actually focuses on members that are interested in doing what we call scholarly writing, that want to do for more professional publications, but then the other ones are more geared on telling your family story and in taking the research you've done, putting it together into a cohesive story about your ancestors that you could share with everybody. And we also encourage you to write about yourself, because sometimes as genealogists we forget that we have a good story too, and we need to write about that as well.
One of the things is we always say, people come up to us and say, well, when are you going to write your book? And we'll say, when I'm done with the research.
Yeah.
You're never done with the research.
Yeah.
So what we've done is we've encouraged people to write those family stories before they're lost.
That's fascinating. And I think, too, because you think, 75 years from now, somebody hopefully will be maybe looking back to find out information about us, right?
Exactly.
Yes.
Now, what other programs and services do you offer the public? Because you've talked a little bit, you've got the grave things, you've got the writing. What other things do you offer?
Well, we do have the meetings, and they are at the Municipal Center in Naperville, and they are on the second Thursday of the month, except for in the summer and in December. So you do check the website if you want to see when they're going to be on. We also have a yearly conference, and we have very great speakers. A lot of them are national speakers. Always the conference has a national speaker. You can't necessarily see them anywhere else, just around here. So you do want to come to the conference. You also have a lot of the national or well-known speakers that are Illinois speakers come and talk at our society. Anyone can come. We do encourage you to become a member. It helps pay for it, but anyone can come to those meetings. And there's a lot of different, some of them are talking about some of the methodology. They might have some of the storytelling. They may have we have some, I think this year, coming about World War II, other various ones that are coming up that are of interest to anybody. You don't have to be of interest to just local, but of interest to anybody. who's
Some of
doing
the other
research.
some of the other things we do is we offer library assistance at 2 Naperville libraries and the Oswego Library, and I suggest you check the library for when we're there. So if you're happen to need some help with your research, we have people there. We also usually have a booth at Civil War Days at Naper Settlement.
Okay. Yep.
Encouraging anybody who thinks they have a Civil War ancestor, we'll help them look it up. And then we do, a newsletter and things like that. So we try to do
When you talk about your members, because I'm fascinated, so range of age, who typically comes? Because I know my sister was really into this whole area, so I'm fascinated to know who comes to be part of the membership.
It's a real range of ages.
It is a range, yeah.
Yeah, we've got people who are interested that are young and just getting into it, and that have done it digitally and all, and now they're starting to come to meetings. We've also got people that are older. It depends a little bit on what you have time for.
Okay.
And when you get enthused about it.
Okay. Okay. Now you mentioned, Jane, about the online, because obviously we see a lot on the
Yes.
television about genealogy.com and these kinds of things. So talk a little bit about the role that your society plays, and why would you want to be part of the society versus just go off and do the online stuff?
Well, not everything is online, and not everything will be online. What is it, like 90-some%?
The last number I heard was about 95% of all records genealogists would like to see are not online.
Interesting.
Right.
Is that right?
Vast majority are
Absolutely.
not
Okay,
online.
now that's a news item for us, right?
So there's a lot more you can get. What we help give too is somebody can understand a little bit more about what they're looking for.
Okay.
And you can't get that unless you've got face-to-face and you're talking to somebody. But online's great, and we do have some information online as well as some of the indexes. We also have online Mike's Index. Mike Fichtel has been a member of the society since I think the beginning.
Okay.
And he has indexed so many different magazines and information just for anyone who wants to go look it up, and then they'll know where to go look for it here in the area.
That's wonderful, and I would think too. There's a certain camaraderie to that.
Oh, absolutely.
If you're looking for your genealogy, there's certainly something you're kind of looking and interested in there. I would think that would create a sense of bond with others who might be on that same path.
And it's a wonderful thing to come to these meetings because, so many families have the one person that is very interested in it, and they want to talk to everybody about it. And sometimes you start getting the eye rolls. And we can promise if you come to a meeting, you won't get an eye roll from anybody there because we're all interested and we all want to hear about what you have found or what problems you're facing. And that, again, is one of the best things about joining is that you can come in and say, I have a problem with Pennsylvania. And we will say, go see Mike. I have a problem with Irish, and we'll say, go see this person. So, you have people that have spent years dealing with these. So it's a wonderful resource that you're not going to find online.
Yeah. The other thing is you can talk to these people. You can start saying, I've got a problem, and this is what I know, and this is what I don't know, and talk it through, and they may see something in it that you have missed. And all of a sudden they'll say, hey, why don't you start here? Or go back and look at that. And poof, you can help break through a brick wall just by talking to somebody.
That's wonderful. I think this is a tremendous resource. I'm so grateful that we have it here. And I want to thank you for coming by. And I can tell the viewers we can guarantee no eye rolls. So hashtag no eye rolls,
No eye
guaranteed. So thank you for stopping by.
Right.
Okay.
If you would like to learn more about the Fox Valley Genealogical Society or attend one of their meetings, please visit their website. We're going to take a quick break, but stay with us. We're coming right back with more Spotlight.